Good morning. I was playing with some papers from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. I love these butterfly ladies, and so I've used them here and there in other journals, but never all together in one journal. I usually mix and match papers, but I like these so much I thought I would make a couple of traveler's notebooks with them. So that's what I have, 2 traveler's notebooks, and both of them are made out of file folders and a little bit of lace across the binding and some seam binding for the trim. So I'll show you what I did here. Let's take off the seam binding. There's plenty here to wrap it. If you want to add things to it, have plenty of room inside. And as you can see, the seam binding, or the lace covers the stitching on the outside. I didn't do the hidden binding on these. They were pretty simple. Just sewed the paper right to the file folder and covered up the stitches with this beautiful lace. Look at how pretty these ladies are. And some more of these beautiful ladies and collages. These are printed out just like this, these papers, so pretty easy to put together and print out to make something really, really nice looking. I used a copy of an antique photo and some more lace and another, just a little butterfly card here. Made it pretty simple. All the papers are cinnamon tea dyed. Smells like cinnamon in here, and I love the smell of cinnamon. And when I dye my paper, I usually bake it on a cookie sheet, and I put a paper towel underneath it. So as I reuse the paper towels, it gets a little bit of residue, and the paper tends to pick up some of that residue, and I love the way it looks on here, the aging of the paper. But I did lightly tea dye these. I didn't want these pages to be dark because a lot of these papers were darker and I wanted a little more contrast. So I used an extra strip of paper and just made a little flap here so I could tuck something in. And I tucked in this antique photo, this lady in the garden, another copy of a photo that I own. Probably more vintage than antique, that one. And just a variety of papers in here again, but you'll see a lot of the Ephemera's Vintage Garden papers. This lady is from an old fashion magazine, I believe. It was probably pattern catalog. This was supposed to be a costume, so I just fussy cut her out and glued her to this page, and I added a little bit of glitter because she was just begging for some glitter and I made a mess, but she's got a bit of glitter on her. And some more tea-dyed paper, a copy of a page from a antique book from Kate Greenaway. So I just thought the colors looked nice in here. I have a few Kate Greenaway books. This lady is a copy of an antique photo as well, on a trade card probably. I added some lace and I made a little pocket down here. Got a little ticket in here from Czechoslovakia, which is actually where my ancestors are from. So I kind of liked these tickets. And I put a little stamp on top of this little pocket. I also used some more of the extra paper and made a little pocket here as well. Like you use up that paper. Trying to use some things up that I have sitting here. Another pretty page from Ephemera's Vintage Garden, and lots of tea-dyed papers. How pretty is that? But really lightly embellished. I did add this little lady, and I made another one of those little tuck spots with the extra paper. This is another lady that I have on an antique trade card, and I glued her to a copy of this fairy waltz music. So it's pretty simple, and I just tucked her inside here. She's kind of begging for some glitter too, but I was afraid I'd make another mess. Some more pretty paper. Just pretty simple, easy to add things, easy to write in. Copy of this is a stamp that I have of a butterfly lady. I think she was really pretty and whimsical, and I just stamped her onto this piece of cardstock. Thought it was kind of fun with the graph paper there. And another page from Ephemera's Vintage Garden, and also on the back. So that's that one. And then we have this lady, I thought was really pretty as well. And these are similar, but they're also different embellishments. So also nice, lightly embellished, and piece of lace on the, covering the spine, covering the stitching there, which I also feel like it keeps the stitching more solid, so that you don't have to worry about anything. I always add a little touch of glue where the knots are too. It always makes me feel better about it being secure. And it is little strictly private here. But otherwise, I left this page from Ephemera's Vintage Garden, and I used a blue file folder just to add a little pop of color. This little girl is from, this little fairy lady is from another vintage trade card, and this is an actual vintage trade card for Windsor's Balsam or Wild Cherry. I just thought the colors went nice in there. Tucks into that little spot. These are also cinnamon tea dyed pages. Other little residue from the paper towels, which I like. This lady is also from a vintage trade card, and here's another copy of the butterfly lady stamp that I put on a little avocado dyed index card. More of these pretty papers. Just a variety. I love the way that looks. Variety of pages. Just for some fun. Some more little butterflies. And this is actually a place card. A vintage place card from Gibson. And I like the die cut of it. And I like the colors here, so I just tucked that in there. More of these beautiful butterfly ladies. And another similar card to this one. Probably in a set, Clark's. Yeah, they're probably a set. I like the way they looked in here. And then I put one of my little girl stamps in here. I use her quite a bit, and I embellished her a little bit with a piece of lace there, just to let her pop a little bit. I always like to embellish that stamp. Okay, I'm a little anal. These are the papers. Pretty, really pretty and fun. Just something to play with, something quick and easy to make. And use up some of the papers that are piling up from the scraps from other projects. I just tucked a piece of music paper in here because I like the music in here, but this is a little pocket. You tuck anything in there. And just a variety of lovely papers. Another piece from Kate Greenaway. really pretty. I'm gonna have to change those paper towels out though. And then this was a copy of a trade card, and this little girl was on a different trade card. I cut her out. I glued her on here, and then I did just a little bit of decoupage napkin on here just to make it a little more floral. And this is another vintage piece, actually. I don't know if it was an ink blotter, perhaps. It's probably what it was. But I thought that little girl looked cute in here. And that's the other one. So I'm gonna put these in my shop shortly. But I wanted to show you what I made, and I hope you like them. I had fun making them. Thank you.